Alright, so today's video we're watching a Diamond 5 support on console. We're going to be playing some Moira, Ana, and Mercy. They say, hello, long-time YouTube lurker and first-time poster here. I am primarily a Mercy main, but decided to play Moira this game since it fit with my team better. After our Doom dies, totally my fault, LOL, I immediately hear I have played with Moira mains every game now. It's pissed me off, switch off Moira. Okay. I am not one to get mad and not switch, but after a few more toxic words on his end, I decided to leave VC, which is why I was AFK for a moment in the beginning. I kept getting flamed in team chat and decided to go Ana, not my specialty as you'll see. I then went back to my comfort pick the second round and joined back to VC, and he had switched to blaming our Sombra. This game left me conflicted because it definitely was my best, but not my worst. So it's a bit hard to pinpoint where I can improve on this one. Tips are appreciated. Thank you. Love your content. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because what are the chances that and we're going to start with this. Does the Doom switch off? Because I find that sometimes you'll have players that will always tell other players to swap while not swapping. So that's going to be the first step here. Second of all, I think it's going to be a question in this game of comfort picks over what people want in game. And I think that as you climb, you might have more like hero swap, but in Plat, you want my opinion? I think in Plat, you probably can play whatever you want. Unless you, like, create, like, a bad synergy with the team. Like, for example, like, you know, a Mercy Lucio comp isn't the strongest, right? I've actually seen it work more now, to be honest with you. But, you know, comfort picks generally will win you games in comparison to go this hero. Like, for example, chat's seen my DPS now. If my teammate's like, hey, get off of Reaper on, you know, this map and go Widow, I'd be like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. If y'all have seen my Widow, it ain't gonna go well for anyone. The only people that are gonna be pumped is the other team, right? So the point I'm making is that sometimes players will tell you to go heroes that you're just not good at, and then they'll get mad at you if you go the heroes you're not good at, and then don't play the heroes you're not good at well. And that kind of becomes the problem, and you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how your Doom's playing, you know, the swaps, etc. But it very much, so far, just from the description of this game, it very much sounds like a game where you have a teammate who was not happy with anybody and everybody else's fault based off of what's happening. Now, we'll see. We'll see how you played. You know, maybe you're running into their spawn doors and getting rolled on cooldown, and there's things that can be worked on. And we'll kind of take a look at all that. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a side tangent on that one. But anyway, here we go. Wonderful start. Okay, so far everything's fine. I don't really have any slight issues. Your management of your resources has been good. Not even like, I mean, okay. It's very interesting because your Doom is overextended already. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the Doom is already overextended. So like, there comes a certain point where I don't even, like, they got to be careful of that overextension, right? We'll see that. I am liking the damage boost usage so far. And chat knows that when I watch Moira, sometimes like there'll be a lot more heal orbs. Like obviously if it's necessary you use it, like that's fine because like you can see that you're getting low. I mean, okay, so far, by the way, what's happening right now is your Doomfist plays way too aggressive and is constantly trying to do something. And the problem with the Doomfist constantly trying to do something is that it results in them actually feeding more. It's funny because you can see that your Doom is constantly trying to just engage in and go for a kill. But then you look up top, you look at their Doomfist who's played a little bit more defensive. Look at the L charge difference, right? So you have one player who is constantly trying to go in and like force a bunch of damage, but because they keep getting rolled immediately, they get no damage. And then you have the other Doom who's been sitting there playing a little bit more defensive, and look at their L charge, right? I think right now, from what I've seen, is that your Doom is a very aggressive player and is more along the lines of just like they get angry because their teammates aren't keeping them alive when they go dive into their back. So far, that's what I see from the Doom because I keep watching them constantly just go in, right? Meanwhile, their Doom goes in and then just gets out immediately. So it's like, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you already have your ultimate. Only problem I have here is you might get unlucky and they might punch you out of it. But okay, your Doom's back now. You could use your ult here if you need to. Ooh, that's unlucky. Okay, I mean, that's fine. They used ults. Just now just wait. Back away. Back away. So, I'm gonna assume that's that you had left the voice chat because they were getting mad already. I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't seen anything so far that would make me, if I was playing Doom, get mad right there. So far, there really hasn't been anything that you could do to save what your Doomfist just did. They got a Yari ultimate after coming back, and they played too aggressive the first time. So, yeah. That's what I'm seeing so far. Obviously, that tune could change as we go on here, but we'll see. Enemy turret here. Okay, be aggressive with your ultimate here in a second. And the reason why is you want to just be able to win the team fight. Try not to be too safe in your ult. If you do win the team fight though, it's all good. Like I'm fine with it, but like, man, I guess they bobbed. That's a win. In that situation, don't even try to peek. All right, I mean, you saved your ultimate, so all hindsight worked out. Okay, everybody's healed. I like your healing orb stuck in the room. Okay, everybody's healed. Everybody's good. Ready and ult. A little bit too late. Okay. One thing that I want you to do is I want you to understand timings and like. I'm gonna pause for a minute. The reason why I wanted you to. I can rewind too because it'll be a little bit better to show. Is like at this point in the game, you need to start dictating the pace, right? So when I see this here, I'm gonna pause it because maybe this helps like showcase my point. Okay, ready and go. The reason why I want you to start ulting at this point is because now you've watched Doom use your ultimate in front of you, right? I mean, their punch. The punch is the one thing that's going to prevent you from using that play. You also have aggressive teammates. So you have your Reaper right here. You have your Sombra in right here, right? You see what I'm saying? So your teammates are in a spot to be able to follow up. When you dictate the pace with Moira ultimate, you get a lot of really good plays. Sometimes if you try to use it defensively, that's where like the team fights get really kind of scuffed because sometimes you can never... Okay, let me ask you this question. Actually, this is a better way to kind of put this. If you're playing Moira, do you prefer when your Moira ult is healing a bunch of critical targets and you can't do anything? Or is it when everybody's close to full HP and you can damage people and not have to worry about catching up on your teammates to heal them? You see what I'm saying? So when you wait longer here in this scenario, there's a very good chance you won't even be able to use the Moira ultimate the way that you want to, in comparison to how you would if you just lead off with the Moira ultimate after they use their punch. Because right now you have that opportunity. Now the counter argument's like, well, they use their ultimate and Doom punch. That's fine. You have fade, and you should be able to get away from it, right? It's not, maybe Doom makes a good play, but I would have liked to see you already use it at this point. Instead, you wait, you lose a teammate, right? Your teammates have already gone in, and now you've kind of lost your timings a little bit more. Your Doom ults, you get kills, etc. But does that feel like that's the way you would have wanted to use your Moira ultimate? If I said to you that if you use your Moira ultimate late, it would turn into a 2v2, rather than more than likely a one team fight with more teammates alive? And that's kind of why I want to just like showcase you a little bit of an off time in there on your Moira ultimate. Basically, you could have had a one team fight. Instead, it turned into what it is now with a team fight, which is probably going to be a lost team fight. How many times can I say team fight in a sentence? Well, I guess if I mean, in a paragraph is a better way to put that. I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, though, I don't know why your Doom was so angry about having a Moira here, though, and I only say that because I feel like most of the time the Doom got rolled was because of the Doomfist, not because of having a Moira. It doesn't feel like it's, oh, we have a Moira, that's it. Like, I haven't seen anything on that one that makes me think otherwise. I don't know. That's just me. Are they playing too far back? I mean, no. I don't know. I mean, do you want to be in front of their face when the team fights are scuffed? I don't know. You too, DB. You too. Hope you're having a good morning. Good hook. I don't know. It's like... I feel like a lot of... Basically to the question of the Moira playing far back. Also, it's hilarious to me because if I'm a tank player, okay, and obviously chat knows tank's the first role I play. What is the Hog doing there? What is their overall plan? Because if your overall plan as Hog is to stand in near their spawn doors, right? Like if your whole play as Roadhog is to stand near their spawn doors, hook people and then trade out, that is going to go in favor of the other team after a certain point. So this, once again, feels like a game where the hog just wants to blame everybody else, rather than, because you said that what happens is you end up rejoining voice chat at the halftime, and they're blaming the Sombra next. The only thing I'm seeing here is you have a tank who is constantly making it difficult on the team by just going in and feeding. And they justify it by going, oh, well, I'm getting picks. But a lot of the time, how impactful are those picks? And people are like, what do you mean? Impactful picks? What are you talking about? I get 20 limbs, etc. If you're going in there and you're getting early kills at the beginning of team fights with, how much time's on the clock right now? 1:45, actually not too bad on timing. Right? And then your teammate, and then they die, their team spawns right there. So they're going to get more value out of that than what the hog thinks they're doing at that point. Because now look what happens. The hog isn't there at the doorways, like on the outside towards your spawn side. They get map control. Now you're stuck down here. They're probably going to go in and get a kill on you. Now your teammate's dead. Now your Sombra uses a bad EMP. I'm not saying that's your hog's fault. You got a Hinder and Hank over here chasing you down. The hog comes back. And now you have a scuffed team fight again. We're back to a scuffed team fight. You're gonna feel obligated to try to save this tank now because they already got mad, right? Here we go. I'm waiting. Thankfully, your teammates won that fight. You said, would a Kiriko help here? I mean, it could help with utility, but you can't. Let's see what happens to this hog. I'm curious now. All right. Still waiting? Okay, they went Mauga. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's be honest, chat. What's the real problem here? Do you see what I'm saying, by the way? Okay? It comes down to the player that was accusing their teammates and blaming all their teammates happens to be the player that's constantly out of position and just standing up here. You're on hog. You don't need to stand next to them to get the hooks. Like, right? Like, the idea is you pull them into your team, not stand right here. Look where this hog is. Look where this hog is right here. Okay? You could be hog right here and go for the same exact play. You see this? Now, if people are like, hey, could you go Ana here to help out? Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, that would help, but it wouldn't change what the result would be to the hog, in my opinion. With the way your tank plays, they have an all-in play style, and their play style also, it revolves around how they play. If you do anything that doesn't help their, I'm going to go in and hard feed type of play style, it's your fault, right? You see that? Right? So keep in mind, we're going to keep looking at things that you can improve on in these situations too, right? For example, your ult timings have been off. I still want to see you be more aggressive. I think don't get into the habit of only playing super defensive with your Moira ultimate. I really think you're going to win a lot of team fights by just playing aggressive. And maybe even playing aggressive in these situations could be a good way to adapt to like how your tank is playing. Maybe you go, okay, Moira ult, I'm just going to lead in with it. And if they get mad, well, that's on them for playing too aggressive, right? Because you're going to ult here, which is going to probably be a defensive ultimate. But look, like, do you see the problem with this? Now, let me ask you this question, because this is a good way to look at this, okay? Did their Moira have to use their ult there if they played the way that you would, right? And what I mean by that is their Moira used ultimate up here, right? But their Moira did not have to use ult. But why do they use ult? To play aggressive. Now, granted, they got hacked by the Sombra, but do you see the difference in timings right there where their Moira wasn't afraid to hit the ult button? And that's what the difference was there, was like, you were so worried about timing your ultimate and like making like this perfect ult the whole time that instead of just using it like their Moira did, ignore the Sombra hack in the ultimate. That was just a good right click, right? But the difference is that they're being proactive with their ultimate, you're being reactive with your ultimate, and in my opinion, proactive Moira ultimates are better than reactive ultimates. It doesn't mean don't be reactive with them, it just means that you can get a lot done when your teammates are at full HP with Moira ultimate, and you can lead in with your damage and your healing, rather than the way that you're doing it now. I do think that is a bit of something you could work on, but it isn't, you know, I still think your tank is playing way too aggro and feeding a lot. So, yeah. All right. Now, I think this is where you swap. You said that maybe Ana? Yes. Okay, and you said Ana isn't your best hero, so we'll see how it goes. Now, chat, let me ask you a question. As everybody's running back right now, keep in mind, if the Ana was moving right away, they would have been about here. All right, so let's just say this is where the Ana would have been if they were moving from the get-go. Do you notice anything? Does it matter what support you would be on to be able to help what's happening right here? Out of curiosity? Nope. But they're going to blame someone, right? It's got to be the Sombra's fault, right? It has to be the Sombra's fault at that point. This hog dying here is on the Sombra. I said it's gotta be the Sombra. Like 100%. Like there's no other, who else could you blame in that situation, right? Gotta be the Sombra, right? Does it go Lifeweaver to pull them back? Yeah. The first thing I would think of is I have a teammate who doesn't realize that they're feeding really hard and that they're the reason why they keep falling over, not their support's fault. Let me go Lifeweaver and pull them back to put them in position. I'm sure that will go over well. You go, okay, all right, I'm gonna go Lifeweaver to kind of help them with positioning. They're gonna assume that you're just throwing the whole time. They're gonna be like, oh, why are you pulling me? You're so bad. They've already decided they're blaming everybody else, right? They've already decided that. There goes your hog again. He just goes in blasting. That's on your hog. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's like, what else can I say? What else can I say? I mean, the hog just straight up ran it off the... They went off the top rope, ran to the cart, and got rolled. Like, of course they're gonna get rolled there. That's the best EMP. So your map. Nice. Good purple on there. Purple. I mean, you mentioned your Ana gameplay. I mean, it was okay. I don't think it was... I didn't see that and go... I didn't, like, see your Ana gameplay there and go, oh, that was bad. I don't know. I thought that was reasonable. Once again, so far, halfway through this game, your tanky just feeds. They just play way too aggressive. They don't understand position, and they just go in, and they assume that everybody should be able to keep them alive the whole time. That's what it feels like. It just feels like you have a player or a tank on your team who just thinks that they have to just run in over and over again. Also, the chat said there was ads. Let me know when the ads are done. I can pause for a minute. I mean, that's the thing about tanking. Like, when you tank, you have to think about so many variables just outside of, like, my supports aren't healing me. A lot of the time... And I think, and I'm not saying that every game's like this, but a lot of the time, believe it or not, when you go into a game, your teammates generally want to heal you. Like, they don't want to not heal you. So sometimes you have to kind of look at it and go, okay, why am I not getting healed? Why can't I survive in these team fights? And a lot of the time it starts with, oh, my positioning is horrible, and no matter what supports I have, even if I had a BAP Kiriko using cleanse and lamp on cooldown, still wouldn't save me as a tank. And if that's what's happening to you on tank, it's time to start looking at maybe it's on the way that you're playing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. On Mercy now. Mercy Lucio. Okay. Did I mention this comp at one point too? This will be interesting, because, I mean, I can tell you right now, your tank certainly ain't going to get healed much in this one. All right, your queen survived that. I did? Okay, I was going to say. Well, you know what? It can work. It works more now somehow, but I think it's people getting used to, like, playing in this setting. Okay, look, this is what I mean. What do they expect? Look where your queen is. If you're a tank player, don't do this. Like, I don't mind playing aggro, but why play here? Go here. Right here. Boom. Look at this. They have to turn the corner. You have good sight lines. You have good cover. You can back up. Why are you up here? Like, what do they expect? No one's going to be able to heal them through this. Let's keep watching this. It's a good punch. Yeah, you're dead here. I mean, maybe not. You know what? I respect the effort. I respect the effort. Truthfully, next time, if you're in that situation, it's dying cart, because maybe you'll get like the wave respawn. The wave respawn's a bit more important. But I actually, honestly, like, I think that was, I respect the effort. Okay, let's see if your queen will just settle down for a second here. To win this game, all your queen needs to do is wait like 4 seconds and don't run into their team. That's it. That's all they gotta do. Don't run in. Wait till they get healed up. Play cover. You'd be fine. That one is just that play right there is your teammates are in the small left hallway against their team right now, and they're not understanding the team comp. That's where by the way, these are the situations right here where you would lose like you would see the why Mercy Lucio comps can struggle sometimes because like you're taking so much like damage. So when you have this comp, you need to play more for like poke and on the outside, not you getting poke damage, but like you can't go into a small hallway because your teammates won't be able to catch up on heals unless you have Valk. So positioning is key here. No, not right now, Goggles. I imagine there'll be drops next week when mid-season hits, though. So I'd say be looking for drops come mid-season, which is next week. Good team fight. I think the problem that happens sometimes with tanks is like tanks just assume they're like that they're just unkillable, right? That they just need to go in and just if they're not getting, if they're running into their team, then they should be fine because their teammates can heal them. And that's not really what tanking is a lot of the time. It's about good positioning, and the easier you make it on your supports, the better time you're going to have, at least in my opinion. Don't be afraid to use Valk aggressively, by the way, too. Same concept as the Moira ultimate in this one, only because you don't have a lot of healing to begin with. So I'm okay with this. Doomfist got too aggressive, keeping your teammates alive. Now, ideally, your queen would either shout past the window, which it looks like they did, so you should be good. You're good. What rank is this? Plat, I think? Good job. You got the point. Nice job. That's what we like to see. Nice job. Not bad. I forgot which rank it was. I think it was plat, but I could be wrong. And keeping your teammates alive. Getting a good snowball going here. There's nothing you can do about your Sombra dying there. Alright, Queen just needs to settle for a second. It's okay to settle. Just settle down for a second. Don't go aggressive. You have numbers right now. The worst thing you can do is go, okay, wonderful. Let's run back in again. Chat, when you have an advantage, if you need time to get healed up, just let your teammates get healed. Don't keep running in. Just, it's okay. Yes, you want to get the staggerer limbs, but how are you going to get staggerer limbs if you're going in getting rolled? Just wait an extra few seconds. That's it. That's all it takes. Don't just keep running in. Don't keep running it down mid. No, they keep doing it. The queen is already going in. Look it, they're already up there again. They don't even have their 5th there yet. Okay. Might be a good ult, might not be. It just depends. That's a good EMP by their Sombra. Yeah, they have cleanse. Okay. They're probably dead again. I mean, maybe not. Good beat. Let's kind of see how it is, but I think there's too many ults happening. Okay. Every ult's out. You have Valk and EMP. You can win this. All right? Oh, a lot of things will do that. And that's why I always talk about positioning. Like, for every player, you always hear me bring it up at least once. The better your positioning is, the easier the game becomes. Because there's just so many more things you can do when you're not taking 8,000 damage at all times. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. Nothing's happening right now outside of, like, your team is just stuck over there. You have a Kiriko now, right? No. They have a Kiriko. You have a BAP. BAP is going to be good for your comp. Your Jungler Queen will need this. Enjoying the blue beam on the soldier. I mean, that's the correct play in that situation, because you're not going to be able to just pocket the tank the whole time. I mean, it's a little bit easier now that they've made some adjustments to Mercy over the past few seasons, as well as how the tank interacts with, like, the DPS passive. But yeah, you're going to want to be damage boosting, like, your cast or your soldier, or whoever, you can at that point, for sure. Dudley, thanks for the feature prize. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Man. No, we're not guessing the rank. You got the point. See, and like, the part that's rough here, by the way, is that your team probably won't recognize this, but your team, you know why you won that? Everybody just settled. Everybody chilled, and then, like, they didn't rush in, and then guess what happened? Everything was fine. And they did that because they wanted to capture the point, right? Like, they wanted to capture the point. But they won't play that way the whole time, and if they did, it'd be a lot easier of a game for everybody across the board. Okay, what do you have here? Queen ult, get out, cleanse, and then ult in. They're gonna have Mauve ult, though. Might be prevented. That was on your Reaper. I was gonna say. I'm trying to do too much. There we go. Huge. Did you apply that in World of Warcraft? I mean, yeah. I mean, it can go hand in hand like that, yeah. I actually like this Valve. I like that you didn't, like, save it. Because, like, it was still going to be questionable if your teammates were going to be able to win that. I'd rather you survive that. Now, obviously, if you're like, oh, you could have had it here, but this is okay. I actually don't mind the Valve. I'd rather you be a little bit proactive with it. Okay. Now, the best thing your team can do is play safer. Which, by the way, the Queen is. Because you want to know why? It's overtime. So somehow this has made the Queen play a lot less aggro. Which, by the way, actually, this is one of the spots where playing a little bit more aggro would be a good idea. Because you can take away some of the map control. But I'm okay without that. And they go back in again. And that's, never mind. Okay, my bad. I thought they were going to not do that again. And then they did it again. Okay. Wonderful. It's funny because the past 2 minutes of like that whole sequence, right? Like the past 2 minutes of that whole sequence, the Queen was playing like exactly how you would want to play. I think on accident. Well, not an accident. It was that you were getting into overtime and it was like last team fight, so they started to play a lot safer and everything was fine. Then finally, when you need your teammate just to slow down a little bit and let them get through their ult rotation, play slow on card for a second, your Queen runs into their team and just gets rolled. And this, once again, it goes back to, I think your number one issue for you is you still need to be very much more proactive with your abilities. I actually didn't mind how your Moira gameplay was. I think sometimes you played a little bit too safe, and I think that's going to be your problem. Find more ways. I always talk about it being a playmaker. You can do it on any role. More aggressive Moira ultimates, even more aggressive Valks if you want to. When you were playing Ana, I didn't have enough. I can't really give as much feedback on Ana. Your Ana play was okay. I wasn't too upset with that. You probably would have been just fine on Moira the whole time, but the Mercy ended up being fine because you helped your soldier do damage. But to the initial statement about your tank, etc. Yeah, your tank just fed most of the time. And I'm not, and of course, your tank fed and then decided to blame your Sombra, blame you, blame this person, that person, when in reality, the only way that Doomfist or that Junker Queen, that tank player that we saw on your team is going to climb is if they realize that they're a part of that problem. They are continuously out of position. So, things you can work on for sure, but your tank also just was hard feeding the majority of the game. So until they fix that play style and just stop blaming everybody, then they're going to keep running into that same issue. But I think you have some good moments, and I think that be more proactive, be more aggressive, and I think you're going to actually see better results. Remember, lead off with your Moira ultimate a lot of time. Don't always rely on it defensively. All right? You got this. You can absolutely climb. You got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all three YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That is where you would do that. We also record these live on stream. You can stop by the Twitch chat or YouTube. We have a lot of fun here. With that being said, I hope you have an amazing day /night.